Hey guys, it's Josh here. Welcome to my game room tour. A few people requested that I do this on Facebook and Instagram. I've been wanting to do a tour for a while now. I've seen some great ones online, some great collections. Although my room is absolutely tiny, as I'll show you shortly, I've managed to collect quite a lot of stuff over the past year and a half, which is when myself and my wife got our first home. And this room here used to be joined onto next door, which is our bedroom, but we put the wall back up, and we pretty much, this room is mainly used for storage, so our clothes are basically behind here, like some really old school built-in wardrobes, and what initially was just kind of a collection of stuff on that shelf there evolved into this for some reason. Yeah, so as you can see, there's not a lot of space. I've kind of tried to sweet talk my wife into pulling these wardrobes out at some point, but there's quite a lot of storage in there for clothes and decorations and what have you. So, and our bedroom's not too big, so I'm not sure where everything would go. But yeah, anyway, I'll just have a quick glance around here. So as you come in, we've just got a couple of posters on the wall there. Guardians of the Galaxy, Dragon Ball Z. There's a big Dragon Ball Z fan growing up, as you'll be able to see. Super Mario poster there. Over this side, we've got the 360 collection. What I'll maybe do at some point is I'll go into the collections of specific games for certain consoles, maybe in another video, so I'll just be as quick as I can. So majority of these I've picked up from charity shops or car boot sales, or if I bought bundles of games. I very rarely buy games brand new. The last game I bought brand new was Super Mario Odyssey, which is brilliant. And before that, I think it was the Crash remaster on PS4. So yeah, I've got 360 collection there, which goes all the way down with some special editions. Got my Dragon Ball Funko Pops, Goku, Vegeta and Krillin, just chilling there. Sega poster that I got from, I think it was one of the retro game fairs. This is probably my largest collection as far as games go. This is the original Xbox, which was one of my favourite consoles growing up, probably one of my favourite of all time. Good thing is, a lot of the games are pretty cheap to pick up. I'm trying to get the full PAL set. I've not counted how many I've got at the minute. But yeah, the highlight for me is Shenmue 2. The Shenmue series is probably one of my favourite of all time. But there's a couple of good games there in the collection. So as you can see, I've been sad enough to alphabetise a lot of these. I'm a bit OCDs, if you can tell. We've just got some Guardians little figures there, which I picked up because they're really cheap. And then these are just boxes, there's nothing in there. The PS4 box, I believe, was from the PS4, which I still have, which is the one I got on launch, which is the original 500 gig model, which is still alive and kicking. I'll just quickly move these out of the way, just to show you what's behind here. So yeah, that's pretty cool. That's the tablet that I picked up not too long ago. So you can play Xbox One. You can stream the games to the tablet. So in theory it's a bit like a Nintendo Switch or PlayStation Vita, which works quite well. Mega Drive, which is one of the first consoles I got as a kid. So yeah, as you can see, back to the Xbox, there's all them games there. And then it goes all the way down here. There's a couple more I've got as well that I've not managed to put in yet. And then another system here, which I quite enjoy collecting for, is the PSP. Most of these games I picked up quite cheap. Quite a big bulk of them actually was kindly donated by a friend of mine. So that's one of the old models. That's pretty cool. That's the PSP Go, so that's got a few emulators on there. It's quite a cool little handheld. Only thing with that is you can't play the actual UMD discs, which are what those are in the cases. But whereas you can on that one there. So yeah, and then just a few PS3 games there. I had a lot more PS3 games when I was back at my parents' house, but ended up selling them, to be honest. I'm not a massive collector for the PS3. And then yeah, starting up here, so Wii U, which I managed to pick up last year. I was never that bothered for the Wii U, but after playing it and playing some of the games, I'd say it's probably one of the most underrated consoles, especially in recent years. A lot of these I haven't played, apart from obviously Mario Kart, Super Smash Bros, Splatoon, which I wasn't really sure what to think of it, but it's actually really fun. Wind Waker, which I really loved on the GameCube. So yeah, that's the box that it came in. Breath of the Wild. I've got a Switch now, but I got it for Wii U first, and yeah, it is a pretty good game. It definitely deserves a lot of the accolades that it's getting. It's it's just won the Golden Joystick Award for Game of the Year, which you could argue was between that and Mario Odyssey, in my opinion. So up here is mainly just like figurines and stuff. Couple of Funko Pops there from some of my favourite films or franchises. A couple more boxes up there. So yeah, Dreamcast keyboard. Shenmue, my favourite game of all time, which is why it has to be right at the top of the pile there. The box itself isn't in great condition, but I didn't pay too much for it. It's quite an expensive game online, as is Shenmue 2, which is even dearer. These are my current gen games. Xbox One, PS4. That's the tablet that I referred to earlier, which you can play the Xbox One games on. Pretty cool. And then this unit I've got here, I originally had downstairs in the living room, but unfortunately, about 6 months ago, it managed to actually fall from the wall bracket in the living room, and I've got a little boy. Luckily, he was upstairs with my wife at the time when it fell, so yeah, that was very lucky. So I thought instead of just shifting it, I'll drag it up here. It's worked out quite well. These are just a few cards and stuff I've got from some of the game fairs I've been to. I'd say the best ones I've been to are the Retro Games Fair in Leeds and the Video Game Market in Doncaster. So up here, just a couple of random bits. Just some loose N64 carts there. Big wrestling fan, as you can probably tell. WCW, NWO, and I've got my box 2DS there. and then continuing with DS. I'm not massively into the DS, but I managed to pick most of these games up for cheap. And then these 3DS games, I got a few months back, and I've not managed to really play any of them. Luigi's Mansion, I really want to play because I love the first one on GameCube. And Ocarina of Time, I never managed to play that on the N64. So I do want to play them at some point, but having a child and a job and everything, and it's hard to find the time to play anything, to be honest, which is why I absolutely love this console here. I was going to get the Switch at launch, but I wasn't convinced by the games that were released. So I was going to wait till after Christmas. But I looked in Smith's, saw they had a deal on. And ahed about it. I considered getting the Odyssey bundle when that came out. But then I found a really good deal on Gumtree. So I got one second hand. And then these are just the physical games I've got so far. So I'm really looking forward to adding to the collection. I've got a few more downloaded as well. And yeah, just down there, they're mainly just anime DVDs, some random wrestling DVDs and games there that I've not managed to sort through. PSP UMDs, which were the films. And then, yeah, the Vita, really underrated handheld. The games look really good on there. Although all I'm really bothered about is Killzone, which I've yet to play. I'm tempted to trade some stuff in so that I can put it towards either a PlayStation VR or some more games for my Switch. But I'm just not sure what to trade in yet. So there's my Game Boy Advance SP. In that bag there is a load of loose cartridges. These just a couple of ones there. Pokemon, I was a big Pokemon fan growing up. Further down here, I've got a Dreamcast, which, similar to the Xbox, is... I've got a soft spot for the Dreamcast, I think because of Shenmue and games like Jet Set Radio, things like that, you know. Had a great library at the time. I think Sony just completely wiped the floor of them, to be fair. But yeah, it's the last console that Sega released, as far as I'm aware of, and it's, in my opinion, the best. I don't have that many games for it, but yeah, I'd quite like to add to the library. Down there we've got the original white 360, the Slim there, and the Kinect. Up here we've got PS2 speaker. I think behind there's a bag as well, like an official bag. A couple of loose Game Gear games there. Then we've got Nintendo GameCube, which was another great console from Nintendo. I remember getting that when I was about 13. I think my mum got me it for Easter, because I did well in my exams. So yeah, some great games for that. And then here we've got the Sega Mega Drive. That's the Sega Mega Drive 2. And the games there, no heavy hitters or anything, just mainly common games I picked up fairly cheap. I don't like spending a lot of money on games, unless it's something that I'm really going to play. But yeah, the Mega Drive, if I can remember, is, I think, probably the first console I remember having as a kid. One of my friends had a Super Nintendo. I used to go around to his and play that, but I think the first console I owned was either, the Master System. But yeah, the Mega Drive I remember spending a lot of time on as a kid. So here we've got the original Xbox, which I think that one's been modded, so it's got a lot of the emulators on there, so you can play some of the old retro games and what have you. And then we've got the crystal Xbox, which I think is really nice. And the controllers there. So if we go back up, we've got the PS1. Got a cool bag there, which I got from a guy on Facebook, one of the groups. I got the bag, Spyro there, but it's not the, I think it's a crappy Skylanders one. Skylanders, whatever the hell it's called. So yeah, this is cool because it's got the screen with it, Joytech screen. It all fully works, so that's pretty cool. And then there's the original one underneath, the fat one. There I've got the N64. I was a big fan of that as well as a kid. Remember playing South Park, GoldenEye, and yeah, a lot of people going about Mario Kart, but Diddy Kong Racing, yeah, that was my game back in the day. Remember having sleepovers with my mates and spending hours and hours on that game, as well as many others. So down here, this is a system that I picked up recently, but I'll probably resell it, to be honest, because it's not a system that I'm particularly bothered for. I think it's one of the consoles that I never played as a kid. I think it came out similar time as the PS1, so yeah, Sony just completely wiped the floor with Sega. And then yes, I think the Saturn was meant to be a 16-bit console, not 3D graphics, and yeah, PS1 just killed them. So yeah, up here we've got a little Dragon Ball shrine with just a couple of figures and what have you. Behind them statues there's some of the games, as well as DVDs and Blu-rays. Halo. Yeah, a couple of the comics that I had as a kid. Down here is just PS1 games. I really enjoyed the PS1, but I just hate the cases. They just break so easily. And then PS2 as well, which I think I had a PS2, but I just don't really remember playing it a great deal. There's more down there as well. I was more of an Xbox guy. And then down there, that's just a load of duplicate games, which I need to either sell or trade in or whatever. And then behind this unit is just my Blu-rays. And then that's just an old CRT telly that I got at a car boot sale, which fully works. I just use it to test any of your consoles or games. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it, to be honest. As I say, I'll maybe do a more in-depth video at some point of, I'd say, probably the Xbox collection, maybe the 360, PS2, what have you, the ones where I've got the most games. But yeah, if anyone's got any feedback or any questions, feel free to leave a comment. Like the video if you'd be so kind. Possibly subscribe. And yeah, I'm signing out.